Hey everybody, Chris of Midlife Crisis Media here. Welcome to the third and final installment of my Nintendo Switch editions of the Video Game Collection 2024 live streams. Next week, we'll move on to a different console, probably the PlayStation 5. That might already be 2 streams worth of stuff right there because I have a lot of PS5 games. Anyway, so we're going to do the last of my Switch collection tonight. Not my biggest collection. I'm not a huge fan, like I've said before, of this console. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. I think it's a cool idea. I think it still needed a lot of work. Battery life issues, issues when, versus when the console is plugged into the dock compared to when it is in handheld mode, like just the way this thing just basically starts to chug on certain games in a handheld mode. But like I said, it is a cool idea. It's like, handheld and a home console. I like it. I just think it needs another revision, which is probably what's going to happen when the Switch 2 comes about, which they've already kind of announced. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, let's just get through the rest of my games. Starting off with one that I pre-purchased before I even had the console, because this is one of those FOMO things, and that is Puyo Puyo Tetris. I like Puyo Puyo. I like Tetris. Put the two together, it's okay. I think it's an interesting idea also. I'm glad that they're thinking outside the box. Sega, taking the Tetris thing. I don't know who owns Tetris now. Is it Electronic Arts? Is it Nintendo? I don't know. But I think because Tetris usually, on the mobile phones and stuff, Tetris is Electronic Arts. Nintendo didn't put out Tetris Effect for the PSVR, but I don't think Sega owns it either, so they must have licensed it from somewhere. I don't know if it was from EA or Nintendo or what, but whatever. But Puyo Puyo is a Sega property. It's a cool idea, like I said. I like the idea of them combining the two. It's just I think it needs to be executed better, and I do believe there's a second one of these out there. Maybe I should look into that. But the reason why I bought this before I bought my console was there was a big box edition that I kept on seeing at Target whenever I would go grocery shopping or whatever. So I was afraid that it was going to be something that was going to sell out, and once it's gone, or once it is sold out, it is gone forever kind of thing. So I went to Target one day and I was like, well, might as well just buy it, have it for when you get the console. So here's the big box that it came in, and it comes with a couple of tchotchkes. Oh, just like the packing paper. Comes with a couple of stickers. You got some Puyo Puyo stickers, and you got some Tetris piece, Tetramino stickers. And then you also get these two keychains. One is a Puyo, and one is a Tetramino. And I do believe it is the same for everybody. Everybody gets a green Puyo, and everyone gets a purple T-shaped Tetramino. So I really didn't want to miss out on having this. And then when I get the console, the only thing you find anywhere is just the game solo. I was like, no, I want that extra box thing. And then I looked at everything in it, and I was just kind of like, why was I super excited about that? I don't know. Oh, and I just dropped it. Shit. But like I said, it is a fun game. I just think it needed another revision in order to make it better. But it's not bad. I do like it. Next up, we have one that I got from Strictly Limited. Haven't opened it yet, but it's a shmup franchise that I really, really like, and that is R-Type Dimensions EX. Horizontally scrolling shmup. You have this big option/shield thing that attaches to the front or back of your ship, and it can take hits for you. It also is what launches the rockets and all the big weapon upgrades that you get and everything, and you can actually throw it across the screen at enemies and have it take them out and all that, and then draw it back to yourself. It's almost like invincible, which is really cool. I don't know what's special about this one. 2 legendary coin-op space shooters together in one collection. So it has, I guess, the first 2. It's been a while since I bought this, so I guess it has the first 2 R-Type games in it, so yay. Sure, why not? This one I've bought like 3 times. And then I realized that this was a game that I would preferably play on the go. I had this on the Wii U, I do believe. And then I bought it on the Vita. And then I eventually just got the Switch version because this is like the upgraded complete edition. That is Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. This is one of the best side-scrolling platformers I think I've ever played. It does so many cool, fun things with the formula. There's like musical levels where things happen according to the beat of a song and stuff like that. And the collectibles that you get and everything about it is just top-notch. The art style, the gameplay is perfect. I think it is. It plays fantastically. And it's just colorful and fun and lively, and I just absolutely love everything about it. Have not beat it yet. It is a pretty large game. This has all of the extra content mixed into it. New Kung Foot tournament mode. There's a bunch of other modes on the side. There's I think the Kung Foot thing is the soccer mini game and all that, but there's a bunch of other mini games as well. Fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic. It started going in the right direction with Rayman Origins, and then they perfected it with Legends. And we haven't gotten another Rayman game since. Why, Ubisoft? Bring it back. Pick this one up off of Limited Run, and that is Real Mist. All the original Mist ages plus bonus rhyme age. The type on this is so tiny. So I'm assuming it's just a remaster of the original Mist. And the artwork is so dumb. It is so dark. You can barely see anything. You can kind of see there's like a house and some trees and stuff on a hill, but that's about it. Point and click adventure game. Never really got into these back in the day, but I figured if I'm going to play it on the Switch. That'd be a game to play on the go. And then here we have these 2 games in this franchise. I probably should have gotten these on the PS4, but I ended up like I found them first on the Switch, so that's why I have them here. And there's 2 of them. We have Remothered Tormented Fathers, which I do believe is the first game. And then the sequel is Remothered Broken Porcelain. These are survival horror games. I think I first heard of these through Radical Reggie in one of his pickup videos, or he was talking about it in someone else's video, and I was just kind of like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And then randomly found, I think, the first one at GameStop. I think I got the second one there as well, like for Black Friday or something. But the award-winning survival horror series, Remothered, returns. Roam the halls of Ashman Inn and discover the truth, guarded by looming threats. So your typical survival horror stuff. I need to sit down and play through those. Maybe I'll play those during Halloween. I don't know. I picked this one up also at GameStop, and I think it's a first-person shooter. It's called Rico, and I didn't really know anything about it. I just remember going to GameStop. I had received a GameStop gift card from, I do believe, my mother for Xmas, and I just went there to see what they had. And this was super cheap, so I picked it up, and you can kind of see the pictures on the back that it's a first-person shooter. I don't know if this is an exclusive to the Switch or not, but I should probably look it up. I don't recall ever seeing this for the PS4 or the Xbox One or anything like that, so I think it is an exclusive. This is also one of the first games I bought for the Switch, and this is a platformer. I do believe, like a 3D platformer. That is Rhyme. And I remember a lot of people talking about this when I first got my Switch, and it was available on PlayAsia, and I almost went to PlayAsia, and then I did that whole, I think I've talked about the last 2 streams, that whole Best Buy Gamers Unlocked thing, where Best Buy was giving you like heavy discounts on games, and I was like, well, let me check that Best Buy thing I paid for, and sure enough, they had it there, so I got it through them instead of having to import it. But I do believe it is a 3D platformer. Captain Algebra, I know, has played through it. Here is another one of the premium edition games that I picked up at Midwest Gaming Classic last year, and it is another Metroidvania. I picked up nothing but Metroidvanias from those guys, and it is called A Robot Named Fight. And this is a steelbook version. You have the slipcover that comes off, and then you have the robot of the title fighting a monster underneath. You can see even more of the monster there. Comes with a manual that's embossed, which is pretty cool. Inside artwork is pretty rad as well. But you know me, I love me a good Metroidvania. You can kind of see the pictures. That's the thing. A lot of these pictures on these premium edition games, they're like super dark. You can't really see what's going on. But I need to. I'm definitely making this year like a Metroidvania year. I've already started playing a new one that just came out last month, and I have already a couple of them lined up that I'm going to play after that. So I'm thinking this is going to be the Metroidvania year. I do believe I got this through Limited Run. It's from Special Reserve Games, but Limited Run was selling this for them on their website, and that is Ruiner. And it doesn't really say the name on the front. It just has the guy with the mask that says, kill you, kill you, kill you. This was, I think, an exclusive cover that you could only get through Limited Run when you bought it through them. And I do not remember what this is. I think it's a first-person shooter. I could be wrong. Back doesn't really tell you much. I remember buying it because I thought something about it looked really cool, but I have not played it yet, so I can't say. And then here's two more games that I picked up through Limited Run. I do believe these are point-and-click adventure games based on, I think they were not Limited Run, LucasArts games. They are the Sam & Max games. I do believe these are LucasArts, or sequels to LucasArts. So we have Sam & Max Save the World and Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space. Oh, no. I just remembered the next console is going to be the PSVR. So yeah, limited run games. I got these through them, and I do believe point and click adventures. Reminded me because there is a PSVR Sam & Max game that I got through Limited Run on the PSVR. So that's next. Yeah. I picked this one up dirt freaking cheap, I think at Christmas time. That is Samba de Amigo Party Central. I absolutely loved the Dreamcast Samba de Amigo game. That's the console where the series premiered. We got a decent-ish sequel on the Wii, and then we finally got another one now. And I do believe this one is geared more toward multiplayer, but I don't care. I love it. And this is something that, you know, you can use those, I want to call them nunchucks, but the Wiimote, not the Wiimotes. God damn it, what are they called? God damn it, whatever the controls are called. I am totally blanking on them now. It's right on the tip of my tongue, too. Not Wiimotes. Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons. You can use the Joy-Cons just like you could the Maraca controllers or the Wiimote and Nunchuck on the Wii version to play the game where you have to... It's a rhythm game. You have 6 circles, it's like in a circular shape. You got 2 on the top, 2 in the middle, 1 on each side, and then 2 on the bottom. And it coincides to like one hand diagonal out, one hand diagonal down, reverse that, and then directly across. You have to shake the controller like it's a maraca to the beat. These little your circles that are in those 6 positions, you'll see like a marker moving across, and once it touches the circles at the end of the play area, that's when you shake. It's fun. It's also a workout. I do remember playing the Dreamcast version, and I actually got those maraca controllers from Japan off of eBay back then. And it was a workout. I remember like sweating profusely playing it because it's a lot of movement. Maybe I should start playing this, start getting a little weight loss thing going on. Beat this a couple of years back. This was the first game that I ever bought from Limited Run, but I bought it on the PS4 and the Vita. Eventually, they released a Switch version, and I was just kind of like, I don't need these other 2 versions. They were going for quite a lot of money online. Because they were early Limited Run games. So I sold them and picked up the Switch version. And eventually I said, you know what, just play through it. You've had this game forever. Just get on with it. And I played it, and I did not like it. It is really simplistic. It's actually made by the people who run Limited Run games. Their game division is Mighty Rabbit. And they've done a couple of other games. They did Breach and Clear 1 and 2. And this, and I don't know if there's anything else, but if this is the extent of what their video game division is like, this was not good. It's a Saturday morning RPG. The name got me alone. The fact that it is basically ragging on old Saturday morning cartoons like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Voltron, all that kind of stuff, I thought was really cool. And when you first start playing the game, it is really cool the way that it's ragging on and making references to all this nostalgic stuff from my youth. But then you start playing the game and it is just super freaking repetitive. The levels are badly laid out. It's like an action RPG. It's like a RPG light. There isn't a lot to it. There's a lot of just walking around, talking to people, getting a bunch of like just nostalgia bombs thrown at you dialogue wise, and then you fight, and the fights are exactly the same the whole game. And it's a lot of tapping on the screen and stuff like that. It is really dumb and tiresome. And then the game actually does not have an ending. You beat the last boss, he says like one or two things, and it's like there's supposed to be another chapter afterwards, and it's just not there. So they've never actually completed this game, or maybe they never released the DLC. I don't know. But yeah, it is not a complete game, and I was kind of mad when it was over. I was like, wow, I spent all that time and effort beating the crap out of the screen on my Switch because of the way you have to tap the touch screen to play it. No, I'm good. Never playing that one again. Next up is Sayonara Wild Hearts. I think this is also a rhythm game, but it has to do with like motorcycle racing and stuff. Yeah, pop album video game is the tagline on the back. I went to Best Buy, saw the art style on the back, and then I remembered hearing people talking about this online on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's the one that people keep talking about. So it was really cheap when I picked it up, and this is from Annapurna, and it was from I Am 8-Bit, but they had these at Best Buy, which I thought was kind of strange. But anything by Annapurna, I'll pick up. They usually make some really good games for an indie company. I have yet to dislike an Annapurna game. I don't remember where I got this. Oh, I got this from Pixel Heart. Don't remember when, though, how long ago I bought this. But the Shmup Collection by Astro... I can't read that. This has, I do believe, 3 different shmups on it. I can't even read what they are. It is so dark in here, I can't even read it. Cetasius, Wolf Flame, and Armed 7. These are all games that I have on my Dreamcast. Okay, now that makes sense. I bought a whole bunch of Dreamcast, like modern-day Dreamcast games, post, console end Dreamcast games a while back, and this is for people that don't collect for the Dreamcast. These are the 3 shmups that they had released, so you can play them without having to have a Dreamcast, which I bought because shmups on the go is the way to do it for my Switch tastes. When I want to play something on the go, it's usually a shmup. So, had to pick that one up. Haven't played this yet, but I've played it plenty. And that is the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. This is the complete edition of Shovel Knight, one of my favorite platformers ever made. Played it. It was the first thing I ever played on my Wii U. I actually made an effort to get a Wii U, not only to play Mario Kart 8, but also to play Shovel Knight, because I've been watching videos on YouTube and hearing nothing but rave reviews about Shovel Knight, and it looked like a super fun retro throwback platformer that I absolutely had to be able to play it, and the Wii U was the only way I was going to be able to. And it was one of the few times I've actually not gone by my little mantra of not buying digital games. I had to play it, and I absolutely loved it. I played it so much, and I got so many of my friends hooked on it too. I remember my buddy Josh that I used to do Toasty with, and he would watch me play it and all that. It was so fun. But this has 5 different Shovel Knight games built into it, or like a bunch of DLC. You got standard Shovel Knight, then I can't even read it. Was it Plague Knight or whatever? You can see them all listed right here on this line. There's 5 different Shovel Knight games in here. Absolutely fantastic. The mechanic of the pogo stick, like in DuckTales, is fantastic. Jumping on enemies' heads and all that. Absolutely, I love it. It's like a mix between Mega Man and DuckTales. So I bought this probably 3 different times. I bought this on... Did I buy it? No, that was... I'm thinking of Shantae. I bought this on the... I bought it digitally on the Wii U, then I bought it physically on the Wii U, and then I bought this. So I bought it 3 different times. That's how much I like it. Next up, we have Cinemora EX, or Cinemora EX. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is a side-scrolling shmup, horizontally scrolling shmup that kind of goes into 3D territory every once in a while. One of the first games I bought through that Best Buy Gamers Unlocked program that I've been talking about. It was one of the first games I bought for the console, and I remember playing it at work and going I'd rather just play this on a big screen because it's kind of hard to see all the stuff. because of the way the game is. It's a modern day shmup, so everything graphically is really complicated and detailed, and it's kind of hard to see on that little screen. Next up, we have Snake Pass. This is one that I got from Super Rare Games. I bought it was like a 3-pack of games from Super Rare at the same time. It was like this new release 3-pack thing that they did. It was actually cheaper to buy all 3 of the games that way than separately. It was this, Mutant Mudds Collection, and something else. I don't remember what it was. But this is essentially 3D Snake Rattle and Roll. You play as this snake, and it's also kind of like a physics game where it's all about the way you move the controls to get the snake to move up things. Because it's in 3D, and you kind of have to make the snake coil around poles and all that to platform up in the air. But it's all about the timing of things, and it's really complicated, but it's really fun to figure it out finally, how to get him to move properly to do what you want him to do. But it's a really, really fun platformer. I really like it. Kind of like Octodad, I guess, or Octodad. I enjoyed it. And then we have all these SNK games. We have the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. This is something that I would love to play on the go. What's up, Man Boy Cave? Oh, got the hiccups right there. What's up, Man Boy Cave? How's it going? And this has, Return to the Golden Age of Arcade Gaming. Jesus, does this even tell you what games are in here? That would be so nice. Of course it doesn't. But these are old-ass arcade games like Athena and Ikari Warriors and stuff like that. I wish it told you what the hell was on it. That would be so much nicer. Yeah, Ikari Warriors, I can see Athena. God, I wish... Sometimes packaging of people... I don't get it. And the other SNK game is SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. This is a one-on-one fighting game with all characters from SNK games who are female. So, Anemoy. What language am I speaking? I don't know. I remember playing Athena quite a bit. Even on the NES, I kind of like that one. I still need to pick that one up. Tag Team Frenzy is just crazy fun. Yeah, get your anime girl waifu shit on right here. I remember Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming. I think it was him. I think it was this game. He was like, "Oh, go to Amazon right now. It's on sale for dirt cheap. Go and get it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Go to Amazon. I put this in my cart, and it says people who bought this also bought this Heroines game, and this was also dirt cheap. So then I in turn texted Jason back. It was like, hey, that's on sale also. And he's like, I hate you. So we enabled each other. Have not played that one yet. Okay, this one I played quite a bit. I really like it. I think it was a really cool return to form for the franchise. This franchise has had so many weird ups and downs. TJ, I'm pretty sure, can comment on this as well. But I thought this was a really good return to form. And that is Sonic Mania Plus. Went back to the side-scrolling Sonic formula from Sonic 1, 2, and 3. I thought this was so much fun. I was playing this at work all the time. It has a multiplayer mode as well. I really, really enjoyed it. This is the Plus version. It came with this outer sleeve, which came with this art book. Yeah, this was one of those games that was digital for the longest freaking time, and I was getting so pissed listening to everybody talk about how awesome it is. But I'm like, I ain't buying no digital games. You know this. And then finally it got released, and I pre-ordered it when I saw that it went up for sale on Amazon, and I played it the day it showed up, and I always enjoyed this one. This is one of my favorite Sonic games. And then they kind of bounced back with this, and then they kind of went right back down the pooper again. If you ask me. But absolutely fantastic Sonic game. And next up we have, I bought this because of Adam Koralik. He made some comment in one of his pickup videos or something. I don't remember if it was a pickup video or just a video in general, that this was a game that was going to go out of stock, and once it was out of stock, it was gone, and it's going to go up in price, and all blah, 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 blah. Does mine have a manual? Mine has a catalog. Ooh! Buy a Sonic t-shirt. Yeah, Adam Korlick talked about how this is going to go out of print, and then it's gone, and then like the price is going to get jacked up, and you're never going to find it, blah, blah. So I immediately went out and bought a copy, and I see it everywhere. And that is Star Wars Pinball. I don't know if the license was running out or something, and they weren't going to be able to sell this for very much longer. I don't know what the problem was, but I play plenty of Star Wars pinball games in the arcades. This one is like exclusive stuff that was made specifically for home market, kind of on the Switch or whatever. So it has like, there's a game based on The Last Jedi, I do believe, or a table based on The Last Jedi and other movies from the franchise. So, yay! Haven't opened it yet. But I love my digital pinball, so I had to have it regardless. And then we got this monstrosity. This thing was probably the biggest bomb for Nintendo since, I want to say, the Virtual Boy. I have never seen something get discounted so fast. And that is Starlink, Battle for Atlas. So this is like Nintendo or Ubisoft did it. I think it was, it's Nintendo branded, but Ubisoft made it. But I've never seen something like disappear from store shelves and get put in the discount bin so fast. It was supposed to be like the answer to No Man's Sky. The hype for No Man's Sky was like super high when the game was first released, and then everybody was like, "This isn't what I paid for," kind of shit. I enjoyed it for what it was. I had no hype level for that game. I was just like, "Oh, that sounds kind of cool. I'll pick it up." And I played it, and I was like, "This is actually kind of a relaxing game." It's changed considerably since I first played it, but this was like trying to ride on that No Man's Sky bandwagon and do the whole toys to game, or however that genre is. What is it, like physical to digital toy thing, like with the amiibos? So you had to buy extra toys in order to play the game properly. You had to buy new ships that would attach to your controller, and little characters to put in the ships, and then weapons to attach to the ships, and it would all translate into the game and make your ship better. And since I got it on the Switch, I got the Nintendo version, which has the R-Wing from Star Fox, and you have, I guess, the main character for the game if you're not playing as Star Fox, but you get a little Star Fox figure, and you get some extra weapons you can attach to it. I have yet to take this out of the packaging. I took the game out, and that was it, because I installed it on my Switch, and it basically took up all of the memory. And I played it for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I was just kind of like, okay, this is going to take some extra, it's going to take a lot of time for me to get into this, so I'm going to stop now, and actually when I have time to spare, I'll go and play it. It never did. And then like basically once I did that, it was like all in the garbage bins. Everywhere. You go to Target, all the toy stuff, the add-ons were in the discount bin for $1. I remember the Q-Dogs were going around and buying all of it that they could find so they can have it all on hand. I don't like that whole toy to digital game thing that they with the amiibos and all that. It's just dumb. I tried playing Disney Infinity. Was it 3.0? And it was fun for like a day, and then after that I just got really sick of it, and I was like, why did I spend all my money on these damn little figures? And I just got rid of everything. But I'll play it eventually. I watched a couple of people streaming it, and I thought it looked really cool, but never made me actually want to go out and play it, like put any serious time into it. Next up is, I've beaten this game. I beat this last year. That is Super Mario Bros. Wonder, probably my favorite Mario Bros. Game in a long time. I like Super Mario Odyssey. I beat that one. I like Super Mario Odyssey. I thought it was fine. Super Mario Galaxy, all that stuff. But this one, going back to the 2D, even though it is very reminiscent of the new Super Mario Brothers games, which I'm not a fan of because I think they move too slow. That's just me. Even though this takes after it and it does look like one of those games, the whole Wonder Flower aspect of it just completely blew my freaking mind when I was playing it, because it changes the way the game plays every time you find one in really fun ways. Sometimes it gets repeated, which I was kind of pissed off about. I was like, you have all these possibilities and you keep repeating the same ones every once in a while. I was like, get over it. Just do something new. But like, you'll be playing the standard level, and then you'll find the Wonder Flower. Next thing you know, you're walking on the background and your head is toward the camera. Like the top of your head is facing the camera, and you're walking around on the background. you might turn into a snake. You know, you might turn into something else. Like all of a sudden the laws of gravity are reversed. All of a sudden you're floating and stuff. It's like the trippiest shit. The graphics go all crazy. It made the game so much fun, and I could not wait to see what the next Wonder Flower stage was going to be, which is why I blew through this game so fast. A lot of fun. Only thing that I have a complaint about, was the final boss. When you play again, when you beat Bowser at the end, it is the easiest cakewalk of a final boss since probably the Joker in the Arkham games. Like I was just kind of like, that's it? No, like final form thing, like nothing like that. It's just that's it. Okay, put the beat tweet out. Next up, we have Super Mario Maker 2. I really hopped on the bandwagon with the first Super Mario Maker. I bought it day one when it came in that big sized box and everything. I kind of slept on Mario Maker 2, and you can see I still have not opened it. I really liked the first one, but I got burned out on it because it's all anyone wanted to talk about for the longest time. It was like, oh, have you made a new stage? Have you played this stage? Play this stage. Everyone is streaming stages from that they're finding that people have made online. I just got super sick of it. But if you're not in the know, I'm pretty sure all of you are, you make Mario stages. You make your own Mario stages with this. But this one is, you can use assets from Mario Brothers 1, 3, World, New Super Mario Brothers U, and this one added in Super Mario 3D World, which is awesome. Super Mario 3D World is one of my favorite Mario games as well, which is why I was like, oh, probably should get that one because that sounds like a lot of fun. Still haven't opened it. Is it still online? Are people still uploading stuff to that? If anybody knows, let me know. And then I was talking about Super Mario Odyssey earlier. This is a 3D Mario game, kind of like Mario 64. Way better than Mario 64, if you ask me, because I can't stand it. But really fun game. I like the whole hat idea in this one as like the main gameplay change. And you take over things when the hat lands on it. Really, really fun. I love the whole New York world and all that. It was super fun. And there's a lot of post-game content, too, which I kind of started to do. And then I was just kind of like, no, I just want to move on to a different game. But I played the shit out of it, completed it, absolutely loved it. And then we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Of course, I have to have this in my collection, even though I have not kept up with it at all. I love Super Smash Bros. I think it's a fun game. I usually play it nonstop for like a month and a half, and then I forget it exists. It's pretty much been the way it has been since the GameCube one. I never really had the one on the Nintendo 64, but the GameCube one was the first one I owned, and I basically played the crap out of it, unlocked all the hidden characters and stages and all that stuff, and then I forgot it existed unless somebody came over and wanted to have like a fight. Same thing with this. Like I played it until I unlocked everything that is in the game, and then I forgot it existed. But this is basically an upgraded version of the Wii U version of Super Smash Brothers. That was a great game. I absolutely loved it. No one owned a Wii U, but goddamn, you couldn't find a copy of Super Smash Brothers on the Wii U anywhere. Stores were all sold out. I'm like, for a console that nobody has, what's going on here? Kind of thing. But I have not kept up with all the new characters they're adding online and all that. I don't care. But fun little one-on-one fighting game or multiplayer fighting game. And then we have Sonic. I guess that's how it's pronounced. Sonic. Do I have these in reverse order? No, sorry. Super Beat Sonic. And this is a rhythm game. And I booted it up once. And I was like, huh? I need to play it again to like refresh myself because I do not remember how the mechanics worked. Like I said, I played it once, like the day that I got it. And I was just like, oh, this is cool. I'll play it later. Never played it again. I don't remember how it worked. I think it was things like kind of like the way Samba de Amigo works. I think it was like you have these. I think you have like these bars on the sides of the screen, and you have like lines of code that'll go across. And once it touches that bar on the side, that's when you have to hit the button that corresponds with that note to trigger it. I think that's how it worked. I can't be sure. That's like I said, I haven't played that since I first got my Switch. Here's another limited run game. I actually got a t-shirt with this when I got it from Limited Run, and that is Thimbleweed Park. And I wanted to get this because everyone was saying it was like playing an X-Files episode with like a weird tongue-in-cheek vibe mixed with Twin Peaks. So it's like an old-school point-and-click adventure game, kind of like Nightshade on the NES, or like a King's Quest game, something like that, or Maniac Mansion. So I thought it sounded really, really fun. Still haven't opened it, though. I always say, like, oh my god, I can't wait till that game shows up so I can play it. And here it is, still sealed. The Curse of a Collector. And then I think this is another one of the first games I bought for the console. And that's Tiny Barbarian DX. I was buying all these Nicalis games when they first came out. It was this, Binding of Isaac. Oh god, it'll do too, and all that kind of stuff. Like they were like all the games I was buying at the start. Neoclassic Sword and Sorcery 2D Force. It's like a 2D platformer. Beat 'em up. Yay! I hear good things about it. Had to get this. So this is actually, I do believe, part 4 of the franchise, and that is the Toe Jam and Earl back. What is it? Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove. So I think this is part 3 because we got the first 2 on the Genesis, the third one on the Xbox, and now this. But this one kind of goes back to what the first game was, where it's like an isometric adventure game where you're walking around picking up items and stuff that you're going to need to solve puzzles later on. And I think you talk to other characters as well. I love Toe Jam and Earl. I thought it was a really fun game back in the day, even though it was kind of hard and kind of strange. And then, like, especially when you would fall down levels of the stages, because they would have like an elevator that would take you up to the next one. And if you stepped off a ledge, you would fall back down. It's sometimes you would fall down multiple stages. Oh, that pissed me off so much. But I love this series, so I had to get that. And then we have this big ass thing right here. So I remember hearing that this one was going to go off sale. I think it was like a limited edition kind of thing, or it was only available for a limited time or something like that. That's what I heard. So I was like, shit, better jump on that because I liked the series. I played it before on the links of all places, and I enjoyed it. So you might want to pick it up before it becomes something really hard to get a hold of. And that is Toki, the remake of the arcade Toki. I never played this in the arcade. I never even saw an arcade cabinet of Toki in my entire life. I still don't think I've seen one. But it's a side-scrolling platformer where you play as a dude that's been turned into like a chimpanzee, but the chimpanzee can shoot fireballs out of his mouth. He like spits fireballs. And it's really, really fun. It's a fun platformer. And I really like it. I played quite a bit. But the version I'm talking about is this Retro Lector edition. Love that artwork, too. That is really cool. And what it comes with inside is this big-ass thing. Ah! So it comes with, I do believe this is a comic book. Yep. It comes with a comic book on some really thick cardstock for starters. A bunch of stickers I'm never going to freaking use of the characters. Although I do like the designs. These, like, art cards. That boss is really fun. And it also comes with the parts to put together a miniature arcade cabinet. You can see it on the back. To put your Switch screen into. And one of the Joy-Cons. And you can play it like it's an arcade coin-op. Cool idea. I ain't doing it. I ain't opening this. Putting that thing together. That's crazy. I think it's a cool idea. I like it. But yeah, I ain't doing that. No way, no how. But I wanted to get this before it disappeared. I think it was a GameStop exclusive or something. At least that's what I was hearing back then. Is that a true thing? I don't know. But like I said, it's a really fun side-scrolling arcade action game. And then we've got these. Where's the other one? Hello? Are these out of order? Son of a... Yeah, these are all out of order. Okay, so... Shit. God damn it. Okay, we're going to start seeing these in random order now. Here's a shmup that I picked up. I think it's a horizontally scrolling shmup from Super Rare, and that is Steriden Binary Stars. I remember hearing a lot about this online. and wanted to pick up a copy of it. I thought it sounded really fun, and I did play this one. Comes with a manual and everything, but did not put a whole lot of time into it. The thing is, the art on the front is what got me, and on the back, not only does that look like a Viper from Battlestar Galactica, like classic Battlestar Galactica, but there was a game that I used to have it on my iTouch, and I think I used to have it on my old phone. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was like a off-brand Star Trek thing, where it was like a starship manager, where you would go on missions and then you would get tokens of a certain color that corresponded to the ranks, or the you have command, which was red, you had engineering, which was orange, and then you had blue, which was medical sciences. And after you would beat a mission, you would get a certain amount of tokens in those areas, and you have to spend them on upgrading your ship. And it was like a Star Trek, like Starship Simulator thing. And the artwork of the ships here reminds me a lot of that game. I need to look that up. That game was a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to rearrange all these damn things when I put them back on my shelf. Shit. Talking about the digital pinball with that Star Wars pinball, here is the Stern Pinball Arcade. Basically the exact same thing, digital versions of actual pinball games, but this has ones that I like the Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams reboot Star Trek pinball cabinet that's right there, that I play the shit out of every time I see it. I absolutely love it. I do believe there is a Ghostbusters one in here as well. It's a Star Trek, Vengeance, AC/DC, Mustang, Harley Davidson, Last Action Hero, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Starship Troopers, High Roller Casino, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Phantom of the Opera, and Ghostbusters. Love my digital pinball. Had to have it. Then I played through this one, Stranger Things 3, the game. So this is based on the entire third season of Stranger Things. I wish we got a game based on the fourth season. Holy crap. What's up, Retro Gamer? How's it going? Welcome. Glad you're here. Played the crap out of this, completed it. It basically is the entire, you play through all the major events from Season 3. And it ends exactly the same way the series ended, or that season ended and all that. It is super cool. It's all done in retro graphics. You actually can go downstairs into, Mike's basement? And that's where like all of your, it's like the hub area where all your characters meet up and all that. It is super cool, but it's done in like an isometric view. And it's almost like a action RPG, I would say. Really, really fun. I like it a lot. Got this from Limited Run, but this is another one where I think they sold it for somebody else, but it's the veteran edition of Strife, which I do believe is a first-person shooter, but it's like a retro first-person shooter, kind of like the old Duke Nukem and Doom and Blood and Rise of the Triad and all that kind of stuff. So had to get that because I love my first-person shooters. Love the whole embossed art on the front. Absolutely love it. And then here's I think a launch game, and everybody complained about it. I got it dirt cheap at GameStop. But that is Super Bomberman R. And it has a story mode and all that. It's all right. I played it a little bit. It's okay. I'd rather just play like classic, old school Bomberman. Playing it on the Saturn at Mo Game Con with Pat of, Show Me Retro. That was so much fun playing that with like 4 different people at the same time. This one I think is just kind of like, is Bomberman past its sell-by date? I don't know. See, this is why when I realized that something was missing. And that is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. So this was another one that I was told it's going to be disappearing. Get it while you can, because then it's going to be really expensive once you want it. No, it's weird. It's like it's still top down. It's 3D, but the area moves and stuff depending on who's moving around and all that. It's just really disorienting. I'm not really a fan of it. I'd rather just play like old school, the old graphic style Bomberman, like the old NES one. This was going to be like something that was going to disappear and you're never going to be able to get it again kind of thing. It was a limited time availability kind of situation. And then I don't think that actually was the case. So remember, I ran out to Best Buy and picked up a copy, and then they had 5 million freaking copies of it. I need to look into where I get my information from, because a lot of the times it's pretty shitty. No, this one, I haven't played it yet. It's still sealed, but I never heard anybody say that it doesn't work. But this has Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, which I hate. I hate 64 also, and Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, which I love. I figured if I ever wanted to play Super Mario 64 again, this would be the place to do it. So, yeah, 3 Mario 3D games in one place. I have it if I want to play them. And then there's also, I bought this at the same time, and that is the Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Absolutely love 3D World on the Wii U. That was the game that made me almost, I remember it was Mario Kart 8, Super Mario 3D World, and Shovel Knight that made me want to get a Wii U like immediately. Like, I remember watching the Game Grumps when I was sub to the Game Grumps. Watching the Game Grumps, like I was looking forward to every single day when they would play. They would do like another 10-minute video of them playing Mario 3D World. It was so much fun. I couldn't wait to play it, and the game did not disappoint. I absolutely loved it. So had to get this so I can play it on the go whenever I want. And it also has the Bowser's Fury, I guess, add-on is what it is, just more of the same. So there's that. Good to know, Retro Gamer. Good to know. Here's why I realized something was wrong. Okay, so here now we have the 2 Turok games that were available on the Nintendo 64 that got remastered and re-released for the Switch through Limited Run. And I bought the 2-pack, so it came in this cardboard case where you can slip both cartridges or both cases in for storage. Yay. But I remember there was like a homebrew Turok remaster that was like floating around the internet for a while, and I think Glenn Plant, who I still watch on YouTube, was talking about it in one video, and I think this might be them. And they just got like legitimized and put on cartridges and released for people to actually play. The first Turok still has the fog. It's not completely gone because I remember playing this at work, and I got pretty far, and I definitely got further in this version of the game that I did on the Nintendo 64 because that game chugged so bad, and the fog was so bad in it that I couldn't never get anywhere in it. But this one is actually a big improvement. I have not played the sequel yet, Seeds of Evil, but this one I thought on the Nintendo 64 was way better than the first. A lot of issues I had with the first one were cleared up. It moved faster. There wasn't a whole lot of fog. I think this one used the expansion pack also. Way better. Way better. Platforming was even better. Had to get those. This is one of the first games I bought from that Best Buy Gamers Unlocked thing when I first got my Switch, and that is the Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers. What year did this come out? 2015, 2016, whatever it is. And we're still in 2016 getting updates to Street Fighter 2. Capcom, give it up. It's been mined to death. So this only new characters added into this are Evil Ken and Evil Ryu. Whoop-de-frickin-do. It's like a palette swap. It's like a Mortal Kombat game where they took Sub-Zero and turned him into Scorpion. There's nothing different about the two characters except the way they look. Yay! Fork up another $60, everybody. But I love me some Street Fighter 2. I think it's still a great game after all these years, so I had to pick this one up. And plus, it was something that I thought was going to be super fun to play on the go. And I do agree, it is that way. I love it. Picked this one up through Strictly Limited, and that is Ultra Core. This, I do believe, was a game that was supposed to come out for the Genesis, and it just got canceled for whatever reason. I think that's what this one is. And someone finally found the ROM, finished it, and released it. And it's a side-scrolling run-and-gun, kind of like Turrican. And I played this one briefly, and I thought it was okay. It still felt like an old-school Genesis game, but I had to snag that. Played this one for a little while. This is one of those games where I couldn't, like, when it comes to, like, I was talking how I love Annapurna. Is this an Annapurna game? I don't think so. No, this is not. Oh, good. Then my track record continues. I remember watching a lot of people talk about this online and saying that it was fantastic. It was a really cool twist on, a game and all that. And I was really excited. And then I played it, and I was just kind of like, eh? That's the Untitled Goose Game. Still a terrible name for a game. Untitled Goose Game. You play as this goose who's basically walking around and just being an a-hole to everybody. You're going around just annoying people, getting them to chase you and all that kind of stuff, and really nothing going on. The graphics are cool and everything. It's a real cool idea. It's like in this isometric view and everything, but when I get down to it, it's like there's really nothing to it. It comes with an actual manual, which is nice. But yeah, that was one of those games I never understood what the hype level was for. And then this replaces my Nintendo DS version of the game. I sold my DS version because it was going for a lot of money, and it was still sealed. So I picked this one up to replace it, and that is The World Ends With You Final Remix. So this is like the final edition of the game. Like it's finally like the director's cut kind of thing. But it's an RPG. It looks kind of cool. I like the art style and everything, but I've never actually played it. This is the last game I got from Super Rare. So I bought that 3-pack of new releases through Super Rare, and it was Snake Pass, Mutant Mudds Collection, and Worms WMD. Anything by Team 17, I'll pick up. I love the old school Worms games, the old 2D ones where it was just you running around on environments that were randomly created and shooting at each other until you're all dead. This one goes back to that, just has a new graphical style, but it is back to the old side-scrolling 2D version of the game, which I love. So I had to get this. Absolutely love Worms. I think it's a real fun party game. And then the last game I'm going to talk about tonight that I own for my Switch is Yoshi's Crafted World. This is one of those ones where I think all the characters in this look like they're made out of yarn. I do believe, or is this the one where they look like claymation? I don't remember. I have not played it yet, but it's another side-scrolling platformer with Yoshi. And this uses amiibos, I do believe, as well, which I think were the ones made out of yarn. Or is that the one that was available for the Wii U? I get all these games mixed up, but I haven't played it, so I can't comment. I think this one is the one where everything looks like it's claymation. So, yay. And that's it. All my Switch games. Next Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central, I'll be back with the Sony PlayStation VR collection stream. I held back on talking about all of my VR games when I was talking about my PS4 games because I had them all mixed in with the PS4 games. So next week is going to be all about my PSVR games. Yay, no more Switch. I know I can hear you. I can almost hear you all the way from out here going like, yes. So yes, I'll be back next Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central with that. And then next week, I do believe, is the end of the month, which means, yes, it's Thursday again, of course. So how about this? Since Thursday next week is the stream for the collection, on the 28th, so next Wednesday, I'll do the end of the month pickup stream. How about that? So pickup stream and then collection stream. So I got some interesting stuff this month in my collection, or I've added to my collection. You guys see a lot of the game stuff. You haven't seen any of the movie stuff. So there's some really cool things that I've been picking up. A lot of cool like collections and sets of things that have been released this month that I'm really happy that I was able to get my hands on. So I'll be back next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central with that. And then next day, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central with the PSVR collection stream. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight, everybody. I really appreciate you spending your time here with me. I will talk to you hopefully next Wednesday. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you later. Chris of Midlife Crisis Media out.